I want all of you in this room to pretend that you're 35 years of age for a minute. And I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Answer honestly with your hands. Remember, you're all 35. How many of you hope to make more money one day? Raise your hands. How many of you hope to have a promotion one day? Raise your hands. And now answer this one aloud. When do you want that to happen? Sooner or later? Can I hear it? Aha! The world's best performing companies make growth a guiding principle. Now, the most important word here is probably not growth. The most important phrase here is guiding principle. Because when you have a guiding principle, it is something that you make every decision in accordance with, or it's not a guiding principle. Let me introduce you to Mike Long. He's the chairman, president, and CEO of Arrow Electronics. He's taken Arrow Electronics to a $25 billion company based in Denver. They operate worldwide in more than 500 offices around the world, and they supply the inside of everything electronic that you have. I write about Arrow Electronics and Mike Long in my book, The Reinventors, and in the course of spending time with him, I said, Mike, all you're ever talking about is growth. We need to grow, we need to grow, we need to grow, we need to try this, we need to grow. I said, are you ever going to take a break? He said, what do you mean? He said, I can't take a break. He said, we're not committed to growth for the owner or for the shareholder. He said, that's stupid. He said, companies that act first in the interest of the shareholder do stupid stuff. They lay off people, slash product offerings, shut down factories. He said, that's dumb. He said, let me tell you something. I got 25,000 people who work here. Every one of them wants a raise. And every one of them worth keeping wants a promotion. He said, Jason, if there's no growth, guess what? There's no more money for anybody. And guess what? If there's no more money coming in, there's no promotions for anybody unless somebody dies, retires, or somebody throws them under a bus. He said, my job here is to grow for the benefit of my people first, which allows me to have the right people finding the right customer. And when I've got the right people finding the right customer, that's what allows us to keep the shareholder thrilled and very, very happy. When you, every one of you in this room, because you just answered the question, you want to make more money, you want a promotion. If every one of you in this room makes growth into a guiding principle, here's what happens. It allows you to attract the right people. You told me that finding, keeping, and growing the right people is a problem. Well, could you imagine going to some bright young person and saying, now you know, there's not a lot of stuff going on around here right now. Stuff's kind of slow, but why don't you kind of come to work for us and we'll see what happens. Well, only somebody that you wouldn't want working for you would say yes. So it allows you to find the right people when you're growing. It allows you to keep the right people. They don't have to go anyplace. The next thing that happens is it grows the right people. And this is the great one, it gets rid of the wrong people. And who are the wrong people? The wrong people are the whiners, the whingers, the complainers, and the ones who believe that the best days are in the past and not in the future. You don't need those people working for you. They'll kill you. And the best way to get rid of them is everybody else is chanting like a mantra, we got to grow, we got to grow, we got to grow, we got to grow. Finally, those people will wither up and die, or they'll just leave. When you make growth a guiding principle, it improves the fortunes of families. I know why you've made every decision you've ever made in your life. And I know why you've made every decision you've ever made in your life, and I bet I know why you've made every decision you've ever made in your life. Let me ask you a question. Have you always wanted better tomorrows for your family than today? Yes or no? Yes. Have you always wanted better tomorrows than today's for your family? Yes or no? Have you always wanted better tomorrows than your Yes. You see, that's the only thing I've ever wanted in my life. Hopefully you have some health, but I've wanted better tomorrows than today's for my family. Well, guess what? You can't promise that to anybody unless there's growth. It allows for reinvestment in the business. You can't reinvest in a business that's not growing. It forces you to stay ahead of your customer. As Mike Long says at Arrow Electronics, he said, I got 25,000 people here, and every day, every one of them is asking customers, what else itches that we can scratch? What else is causing you pain that maybe we can make go away? What else can we do for you? What else can we do to make you be a hero within your company? He said, when you've got 25,000 people asking that question every day of your customers, he said, you'll never run out of ways to grow. When you make growth a guiding principle, it turns vendors and suppliers into partners. You know as well as I know that every one of your vendors and suppliers has favorites. And who are their favorites? It's not because they like you. Their favorite customers are the ones who are growing. Because guess what? When they've got customers who are growing, it's going to allow them to grow because guess what? They want to grow too. It keeps the attention of investors. Smart money's not going to stick around for a long time unless something's happened. It makes communities better places. If there's no moolah in the door, how could you say you make your community a better place? But this is the big one. It makes people feel part of a winning team. How many of you can remember as a kid growing up or sometime in your life that you were part of a winning team? Raise your hands if you remember being part of a winning team. Let me tell you what your job is. Your job is to make certain that everyone who works for you feels like they're part of the greatest winning team they've ever been part of in their life. And they can never imagine being anyplace else. They can't imagine not being there because they feel better than they've ever felt building this incredible winning team. Thank you all so much. It was wonderful being with you.